10 macroeconomics concepts you should know. Macroeconomics is the study of how entire economies operate, focusing on big issues like growth, inflation, and employment. It helps us understand how decisions made by governments, businesses, and individuals affect the economy on a large scale. This list provides simple, non-technical explanations of 10 important concepts that shape our understanding of economies, using real-world examples to bring these ideas to life. Gross domestic product measures the value of everything a country produces, including goods like cars and services like healthcare. It shows how much an economy is growing. For example, the United States has one of the highest gross domestic products in the world, reflecting its large economy. When China's gross domestic product grows rapidly, it signals the expansion of its manufacturing and technology sectors, which impacts global trade. Comparing this number across years or countries helps us understand economic health and living standards. Inflation happens when prices increase, meaning money does not buy as much as it used to. While small increases in prices can show a growing economy, very high or very low inflation can cause problems. For instance, during the 1920s, Germany experienced hyperinflation, where prices rose so fast that money became almost worthless. Recently, Venezuela faced similar problems. On the other hand, Japan has struggled with very low inflation for decades, slowing its economic growth. Rising prices make life more expensive, while falling prices can discourage people from spending money. Unemployment tracks how many people who want jobs cannot find one. It shows how well an economy is using its workforce. High unemployment often means the economy is struggling. During the global financial crisis of 2008, unemployment rates in Spain and the United States spiked as businesses shut down. Conversely, countries like Switzerland and Singapore often maintain low unemployment rates due to strong economies and diverse industries. Some unemployment is natural as people change jobs, but persistent high unemployment signals deeper issues like weak industries or slow economic growth. Fiscal policy is how governments use spending and taxes to guide the economy. When they want to boost the economy, they may spend more on projects like roads or schools, creating jobs and increasing demand. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, countries like the United States and Germany launched large spending programs to support businesses and individuals. Conversely, during Greece's debt crisis, the government had to reduce public spending to manage debt, causing economic hardship. Monetary policy controls the amount of money in the economy and the cost of borrowing. This is usually managed by a central bank. By raising or lowering interest rates, the bank influences how much people and businesses borrow and spend. For example, in 2020, central banks in the United States and Europe lowered interest rates to almost zero to encourage spending during the pandemic. In contrast, in the 1980s, the United States raised interest rates sharply to control runaway inflation, even though it caused a short-term economic slowdown. Aggregate demand is the total amount of goods and services that people, businesses, and governments want to buy. Aggregate supply is the total amount the economy can produce. For instance, during the oil crisis of the 1970s, a sharp reduction in oil supply caused prices to rise and slowed production in many countries. This imbalance between demand and supply affected global economies, leading to stagflation, a mix of high inflation and slow growth. Business cycles are the natural ups and downs in economic activity over time. During periods of growth, businesses produce more, hire more workers, and people spend more. However, economies also experience slowdowns when businesses cut back, jobs are lost, and spending decreases. Exchange rates tell us how much one country's money is worth compared to another. These rates affect trade between countries. For example, when the British pound dropped in value after the Brexit vote in 2016, British goods became cheaper for other countries to buy, boosting exports. At the same time, imports became more expensive, affecting businesses that relied on foreign products. Similarly, a weaker Japanese yen has helped its car makers sell more vehicles internationally. The trade balance is the difference between what a country sells to other countries, exports, and what it buys from them, imports. If a country exports more than it imports, it has a trade surplus, which brings in money. For example, China often has a trade surplus because it exports more goods, especially electronics and machinery, than it imports. On the other hand, the United States has a trade deficit, importing more goods like cars and electronics than it exports. Persistent trade deficits can lead to debt, while surpluses can signal strong production. Economic growth means producing more goods and services over time, which often improves living standards. Growth depends on many things, like new technology, better education, and efficient industries. India, for example, has seen strong growth in its technology and service sectors, lifting millions out of poverty. However, some countries face challenges in achieving growth, such as limited infrastructure or political instability. Sustainable growth ensures future generations benefit without harming natural resources. These key macroeconomic concepts help us understand how economies grow, change, and face challenges. Real-world examples from Venezuela's inflation crisis to China's trade surplus show how these ideas play out in everyday life. By studying these concepts, we can better understand the decisions that shape economies and how they affect our jobs, prices, and quality of life. Stay tuned for more insights into business and the social sciences. If you found this overview helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on future topics you'd like us to cover. I'm Dr. Dog, wishing you a fantastic day ahead.